between the episodes on Eisenholm. 1.20 is out. Well, it's been out for a minute, but now's the time to prep, to update for ourselves. I started things off by processing the recently fired batch of steel using our new decorative furnaces. Once the ingots were smooth, I got to work forging a whole bunch of steel paintbrushes along with some extra tool heads, including a scythe. Afterwards, I began digging out the footprint for our ceramics and smelting room. I marked out the dimensions for the beehive kiln and charcoal pit and headed over to the dirt dugout to begin the process of moving everything over. A couple trips back and forth later, and the back wall was lined with all of our molds and bricks. I wasn't done with the dirt dugout area just yet though, and hopped back on over to collect the rest of the blue clay deposit that we've been slowly chipping away at. The side of the pond may have sprung a leak in the process, but we'll just ignore that for now. The next task for the road to Jonas Paintbrushes was at hand. We'll need 2 copper nickel ingots per paintbrush, and for that, we're going to need nickel. And if I had a nickel for every time I found nickel, I'd have no nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it hasn't happened once. With a large area of unprospected land south of our quarry mountain range, I hopped on the raft and set sail a little ways south. Eventually, a quaint little valley area yielded readings of pentlandite, the scientific name for nickel. I dug down and got to mining, fending off drifters and temporal instability along the way. I had to take a bit of a breather in a nearby trader cart up top to let my stability come back up. Great conversation, very friendly. 10 out of 10 Airbnb. After a second foray into the mines, I got back to the surface, made my way back home, zipped over to the workshop, and got to smelting. There was only one big hiccup. Temperature. Nickel has a very high melting point, and none of our current fuel sources can quite reach it. And that brings us to today, where we're gonna have to make Coke. But it's not the drinkable kind like what I just cracked open. Coke is one of the highest burn temperature versions of a kind of coal. And in order to make this, we're going to need to build ourselves a coke oven. Probably more than one if we have the materials. So unlike the cementation furnace for steel, the coke oven doesn't really give us that shadowy blueprint. But that's okay because it's a fairly simple structure of just 3x3x3. So it's kind of just a cube with an empty hole in the center, and the front of it is a coke oven door. Now the nice thing is this can be made out of just regular Fireclay bricks or any type of refractory bricks. And well, they're raw, but we've got a lot of Fireclay bricks, which part of me regrets making to a small extent since we're really going to need a lot of refractory bricks, and having that Fireclay would have been great. But we might end up using a good chunk of these anyway, so I'm not all that worried about it actually at this point. And so without coke, we're never going to be able to get these up to the temperatures that we need, because we need to hit 1325. And the highest any of the other coal that we have is about 1200. So let's see, for a single coke oven, we're going to need 3x3, so that is 9 bricks. So let's start grabbing as many of these as we can. I guess we're going to want to start firing them because we're going to need to make a good bit of these. And you know what? We'll just grab the already completed Fireclay bricks and see how many blocks we can actually make. Onward to the pit kilns I just recently took these from. Go grab my lantern before we go grab the fuel and everything to put in there. It's gonna get a little too dark to see what we're doing. Yoink. Now let's go grab that steel scythe head that we had made and get ourselves a scythe put together. That way we can collect a whole bunch of grass and just, see how long a steel scythe will last us. Where did I put it? There it is. Okay, let's empty out this grass into the pit kilns. And this will probably be one of the last few sets of pit kilns that we're going to be firing out here. Because soon enough, we're going to be able to make the beehive kiln once we get all updated into 1.20. Let's relive our caveman cookout times. By cookout, I mean, you know, cooking rock and mud. It's always a great feeling. Just getting a whole swath of grass like that. Oh, look at that. Ah, feels good. Makes me happy. Moved you guys away just to put you right on back where you lived before. Alright. Let's grab more stick. Oh, my line of larch. Small line of larch grew here. Get a couple stick there. How's the line of kapok doing? That's fully grown. Oh, we might just have to cut these down soon enough. Look how tall those are. Oh, boy. I should probably make some steel axes. And I should also probably get out of outside. I heard some drifters behind me. I might also have to think about making a doghouse for Dog the Moose. Yeah, that's right. You're gonna have to live outside, buddy. You might finally come for your revenge soon. You can't have that, no sir. No revenge plots in this house, young man. I shall curb your sudden but inevitable betrayal. Realize I've been playing with the loud keyboard this whole time. There we go. There we go. Quiet keyboard. Just so we can get these firing a little bit quicker before we go back into smithing and making axe. There was a whole peat deposit somewhere around here. Right here. This is an area that's eventually going to get reworked anyway, so we're taking the peat out one day. Might as well be today. While those cook away, let's go see how many blocks we can make with the bricks that are already cooked. Grab the old mortar here. And we get 4 from each of those, so 4 times 8, half a stack. Oh yeah, random fact, but the ponytail on the top of my head, I did get a comment that it does disappear and reappear. And that's because of the mod that I have that makes my armor invisible. So it's one that I haven't talked about in a long time, where I can just, with Control P, make my armor appear and disappear. So when I put the helmet on, it just makes the top part of that ponytail go away. And it comes back when I take it off. It's a little strange, but you know, it's not the worst thing. I just got hat hair. Still looks better than the hat hair I get in real life. That's some wild and matted hair from time to time. Let's pick up this extra peat here just before we forget. Okay, let's see. Is there still a lad in here? So with what we've already got marked out here, this is going to be our beehive kiln for pottery. So I've got the 5x5 footprint, at least kind of indented out in the walls, and we're going to need a spot to walk around it, making it basically a 7x7 area that it's going to take up. And that's because we need to have more of, well, the exact same kind of door that we're going to have to make a couple of for our coke ovens. And we'll get into the mechanics of how that beehive kiln works when we actually get to building it after the update. So this is actually going to be our last episode in 1.19. Provided everything goes smoothly with the update, I'll be being very cautious with that. Alright, let's build our little oven, shall we? So on the opposite side from our beehive kiln, right around here, I think we'll have a wall of probably at least 2 coke ovens. We'll start with the one, just to get enough for that little crucible there and the next one. So we're only going to need a 3x3 area. Which means these are going to have to move. Well, that was easy. Pop these back out of the way. Okay. So that gets our beginning platform in place, and then for the top, we just do the exact same idea, and then along the back wall there. Huh. You know, if I had done the math, I would have realized that we had enough. Well, alright. That was easier than I thought. So the nice thing about these coke ovens as well is that this wall here can actually be shared with another one beside it. So if we just move these out of our way, we can actually just carve out another 2 blocks here. And with a few more blocks, we can technically have a second one there. So once that batch of bricks that we've got cooking is done, we can probably honestly have enough to finish off this and maybe build the 3rd one? I don't know if we're going to need that much coke, but you never know. We could start stocking vending machines. You put in your change and then suddenly a lump of coal just pops out. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that at all. Unless it's barbecue season. Then I could see a coal vending machine being maybe kind of popular. That'd really depend on the region. But in any case, we've got at least one of our furnaces almost ready to go here. We just need to make the door. Let's pop on over here. I'm really realizing I'm going to need to probably update the look of these blocks just ever so slightly. Just a tiny little tweak. Because you notice that single layer of coal is actually just below the voxel layer that I've put for the inside of the little kind of basin of our furnace. So I'm just going to need to lower that down by probably just a single voxel, and then everything should be okay. That way we can see our bottom layer of coal. When I was doing the steel, I put 2 layers in because I didn't notice that I had already put the first one. So, you know, wasting resources, not so good. Oh, I've been yapping too long. That's already heating up. So while these blooms are being processed into ingots to then be turned into plates, let's go over what this oven door is. So the door itself is actually made out of, well, 4 ingots per door. Easiest way, 2 plates, and then you knock out the excess around the door itself. Which I'll be able to show you that in just a moment here. Let's speed on through these ingots. We're just gonna heat these plates back up ever so slightly. You're just getting a wee bit cold. There we go. Heat them up. Nice and golden yellow. Ah. We'll leave a couple of them in there. So, we're gonna use this to make a coke oven door. Easiest way, see, we're gonna need more voxels there. If we just pop 2 plates on, now suddenly all we gotta do is raise up a couple and we should be good to go. So, let's knock that one up there. Knock these ones up and over. And then we just knock out the edges here. Guess it's a little difficult to see the details for where the voxels that are in place are sitting, but that's okay. No outlines means no errors. And we got ourselves our first door. Piping hot. Grab our second set of plates and make another. How dare you? I'm in the midst of working, good sir. This is a place of business. Here we go. And with our 2 doors in hand, well, we're only really going to need the one right at the moment, but if we pop that one there, now we got a little door to our little coke furnace there. And we can just pump this one in place for now and finish building the bricks in around it after. And now, it's time to get some coal in there and get our coke cooking. And we can get the nickel all cooking. Make ourselves a Jonas paintbrush, or well, a few of them. Good few of them. All of those steel paintbrushes I made, those are all going to be Jonas paintbrushes. We got a stockpile, since we won't be able to make them anymore after we update. I figure the durability between a bunch of them is hopefully more than we're going to need for a long, long time in terms of lighting blocks. Unless we end up just going absolutely ham on the lighting. I think a few thousand light blocks might be more than enough to tide us over until we're okay to make ourselves a Jonas palette. Okay, now did I use up all of my black coal? I just might have. We've got charcoal. And we've got brown coal. Okay, well, let's take a look here. So nothing in the handbook tells us what our output of coke is going to be. It's not a 1-to-1 ratio, unfortunately. But brown coal is going to give us 8 coke from a full pile there. So I believe that is 16. 16 brown coal, 8 coke. 16 black coal would give us 12. But I have a sneaking suspicion we used up all our black coal. So we're just going to use some of this stuff. And that's okay. We're not going to need a huge amount, I don't think. I hope. Ah, jeez. Come on. You're startling me. Get that cooking. That's the ember we want. Close that door. Come here, torch. And so we just leave that closed. And in about 12 hours, we're going to have ourselves 8 pieces of coke that we can put into our little crucible over there. So what are we going to do for half a day, huh? I have an idea. We've got 2 steel ingots, just 2 steel ingots left, huh? Huh. Okay. Well, I know what we're going to make out of these. Get that lit up there. Gonna make myself an axe head, because we have a lot of trees to get cutting down. And I think the durability of steel is going to be what we need to deal with those tree walls. And then plant more tree walls. And then cut those down. And then plant more tree walls. And then cut those ones down. And then plant more tree walls. The Lorax is going to break our kneecaps. Oh. And for this one, let's make ourselves a knife, because we don't have one. A steel knife is going to do us well in the long term. Oh, at least long term in terms of a knife's lifespan. It's a long knife. You're my first victim with this new knife. Thanks for the flex. So, in the meantime, while the coke cooks and our steel has been all used up, let's clear a lot of this extra stuff out of our inventory and go cut down some trees. As the sun starts to set, I don't need these tongs in my inventory. I say, I took these tongs away when I should have left them right here. Now, my saucy friend, no need for hostilities. I left my lantern in the workshop. No! They've come to bully me for forgetting my lantern. So, these maple trees, I'll tackle the kapok in a minute, but these maple trees, they're coming down first. So let's just watch as this perfect diagonal gets cut in here. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, eh? Alright, let's do this end here, and then we'll just start kind of going along the middle. And we have quite a few maple seeds, so I'm not super worried about losing a few of them. Just by, you know, not cutting down the branches. And we've barely put a dent into the steel axe. Just gonna walk through and catch any of the extra logs we might have missed. And these leaves are eventually going to start breaking. Well, maybe. Some of them are probably connected here to the kapok, so they might not. Okay, we might actually have to start taking down some of these. It's not a bad haul. That's what, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, almost 11 full stacks of maple. Okay, doing the line of trees. Not bad. Not bad at all. Probably not the greatest for sustainability if you don't have a mod that gives you more tree seed drops. But when you have a ton of tree seeds and they don't really mean much, I mean, this is good because we're gonna need thousands of maple to finish all the walkways for the castle. Oh boy, are we gonna need a lot of maple. Let's grab our shears here. Where are the shears? Dog, where'd I put my shears? Oh, did I put the shears away in the masonry lodge? I think I did. No, wait a minute, they're right here. If I opened my eyes once in a while, I'd find things. Let's just replant all the, well, as much as we can. Tree seeds? Sure could use some maple seeds right about now, thank you. Whew. There we go. All replanted, and that was... Well, there's a little bit of maple leaf left in there, but that's okay. I am gonna want to remove these ones at the very least, just because they're right over where the trunks are gonna grow, and I don't want anything impeding the progress of the next batch's growth. Look at how tall those kapoks are. Oh boy. So before we start cutting down any more trees, because the inventory filled up quite a bit just from the one maple wall, let's go check in on how our little furnace is doing. Should be done by now. I believe it's been over 12 hours. Ah! See? 8 Coke. None of that Coke Zero stuff either. Actually, for real though, I wasn't the biggest fan of Coke Zero back in the day, but I tried it just this past year, and I don't know if they changed the recipe or something, but it's actually not bad now. Kinda like it. It's not my preference, but I enjoy it once in a while. Okay, I think we're ready to give this another shot at cooking. So, get a little bit of firewood in there. Get that lit up. Grab ourselves a bit of... Ooh, you get out of my home. You leave me alone. Let's throw a couple pieces of brown coal in there just to get it up to 1100, so we can use as minimal amount of coke as possible. Hey. So once we've got ourselves some copper nickel ingots, the Jonas Paintbrush isn't the only thing we can make with it. A lot of the other more sci-fi technical parts, they can all be made with it too. So this can unlock a lot of the the more techie bits that we otherwise wouldn't have had access to. And if I'm not mistaken, some of the new story elements are also going to provide parts for that, so I think we might be in business soon enough. And ooh, we've got some progress on the bar, and we might need a third just to keep the temp up. We'll keep an eye on that, but I'm gonna get another load going in here, just to get us a better supply for our second batch. Okay, so I'm gonna babysit this for a few minutes because I gotta keep that temperature up just so it doesn't cool down too much. I'm kind of trying to toe the line here between, well, not letting it cool down enough where it stops, but not using up too much fuel. It's a bit of a delicate balance. So I'll see you in a moment. Oh no, 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 no. I took my eyes off it for 2 seconds. All the progress just, boom, gone. Think I learned a valuable lesson. Don't be stingy with your coke use. Wait, that came out wrong. Just keep it going. Keep it hot. It's gotta stay hot. Don't let it cool down for even a second or yeah. It kinda hooped. So I think I just wasted that entire batch of coke by letting it cool down for literally 10 seconds. Huh. Yeah, this, there's no hope. Okay, eat my red currants of sadness. I'll see you in like 11 hours. Bringing my lantern this time. How are my bricks doing? You guys good? Yeah? You bricking it? Oh, there we go. Yeah, we're more bricked than a modded PSP. There we go. Got the next load in there, ready to be fueled and fired. But let's go grab our mortar and make some brick. Mortar. You know what? No. Let's head back over there. Before I just start making an indeterminate amount of bricks all willy-nilly, let's get an exact count of how many we need so that we can keep a lot of bricks free for bloomeries. You got anything good? You got nothing at all. Okay, so let's continue to move these out of my way here. And yeah, 2 more there. Okay. I think 3 at the moment might be fine. Will you guys just stop? Stop it. You weird me out. Oh no, I got 3 of these bricks extra, so that's... Well, they only come in groups of 4, so... Might as well start cooking in this one too. Now, one of the nicest things about these coke ovens is that we don't have to worry about rebuilding them once we've got them in place, because they don't crack and break like with the steel furnace. So these are kind of a permanent installation. We don't have to worry about it. It's a set it and forget it kind of thing. And if I remember correctly, I believe we could chisel the actual blocks that this is made out of, and it'll still function just fine. As long as the base of the block was originally, you know, Fireclay bricks or refractory bricks. We can actually chisel a different face on there to make them match the rest of whatever wall pattern we come up with for in here. They don't even have to be full blocks. You could just chisel this thing down to a single voxel, and I think it still works. Unless they patched that, but that was a while back I saw that video. I can't remember who made that. Is that Papa Cheddar? What's he doing these days? What I'm trying to figure out is if the rest of this wall should just be coke furnaces all the way down, or if there's going to be a better use of the space. Because these furnaces are only really needed when we have to get up to hot enough temperatures to melt alloys for different Jonas devices. Beyond that, they're kind of mostly just decorative. Because as I said earlier, this is where our ceramics beehive kiln is going to sit. Beside it here, this is actually going to be a little cavern dug out into here for our charcoal tower. So we're going to have kind of all the burning is going to go on in here. The burning that does not require a hammer. The Bernie melty room. But not the Bernie bone melty room. That's 3 doors down. Beyond tables for ingot molds, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this part of the wall here. Because this back wall here, I was thinking of having a lot of our ingot molds that we're not actively using all set up. And then probably a big table along in the center for kind of a whole line of ingot molds and other things like that. But the less commonly used molds, like our anvil mold here, and these, well, you know, and these tool head molds, which we probably aren't really going to be using, because we'll mostly be working with iron and steel for those. They'll have a nice little display rack area here for storage and whatnot. I guess I'll hold off and I'll wait and see what this is going to end up being. Oh, right, of course. Dedicated bloomery section. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't think about that. I'm gonna need a bloomery section. Why not have it all here? This is the cooking room. Just the only non-edible cooking. I guess you can eat anything once. Well, since I done diddly goofed and we're waiting for another batch or two of coal to finish, gotta put away all this maple. Oh yes, chase me. Chase me, boys. Round and round into the pit. Hello, chickens. Thank you for the eggs. Away from the door. I will startle you. Aha! Ah. Yeah, I'm gonna need a proper wood storage area. Real quick here, I think. I need to make another maple crate. Oh. Happy day. Okay. Let's get another batch going. I'm gonna have to go dig up one of those black coal deposits that I've found somewhere. Just to get a little bit better return on investment for this. Okay. If I don't mess up and leave it unattended, I'll just throw in the entire stack of 8 coke once it's up to that temperature. Hopefully, 8 will be enough to keep it up at temperature long enough for it to finish smelting. If it's not, I will probably just cry. Not softly, not sweetly, but like a full body cry, heaving, sobbing even, right into a tear-soaked pillow. So let's hope it doesn't come to that. Use a little bit of this brown coal, get us up to temp. Once we hit that 1100, then we should be good to just dump all our coke in there. And hopefully, that will be done soon, just in case I panic near the end and need more. But I don't have to go full on just leaving it in there and panicking. That cools down way too quick for my liking. Okay. Just leave that in there. I feel like my theory here of 8 is good for a safe estimate, because I feel like 7 might just... Oh, there's another one. As I was saying, I feel like 7 might have been just enough to maybe have this cool down a little too much. 7 I probably could have gotten away with. It might have been towing the line just ever so slightly. Right. Let's pop that on the wall. Here we go. Let's cast ourselves our first set of copper nickel ingots. Yeah, these guys are quite hot here. Oh boy. You don't want to be sticking your fingers in that. That's gonna hurt. Ever so slightly. Okay. But while those are cooling, let's take a little quick peek here at some of the other things that we might be able to make in the future with this new alloy that we've unlocked the ability to make. So with this new alloy, there is a whole host of things that we can make. The main focus right now, of course, is the Jonas Paintbrush, and with having a bunch of them, with 500 durability each, that's going to be a lot of light blocks we can make. But other than that, we've got things like the night vision mask, of course all the parts to then make the night vision mask, a resonator. We can make our very own resonator. But we can also find those at traders, so not quite worth the cost of admission on that one. There's some niche ones like a base return teleporter. It just brings you back to your spawn point. Terminus teleporter that will actually teleport you to the last place that you had died. So good for skipping a corpse run. And now I'm not seeing a rift ward on here. The rift wards not take that? Oh, no, they really don't. It's just some of the Jonas parts and iron electrum. Now, electrum, that's a mix of gold and silver. It's worth 2 gold in Dungeons & Dragons, and I'm guessing that's because it's based off of the Canadian toonie. At least that's what I like to think, because that's worth $2. So while we don't need that alloy for the rift ward, that does let us, well, stop rifts in a particular radius. Regardless of light level. Doesn't stop spawning, just rifts. There's a good whole host of things that we can make with these ingots, and I'm sure we're going to get a lot of parts needed when we hit up some of the story stuff later on. But no spoilers. I may have done the Resonance Archives before, but I'm very excited to get to the 4 new story-related dungeons when we hit 1.20. That's probably going to be one of the things we work on pretty darn quick. Be a nice little adventurous break from building. We're not going to do all of them at once. That's, there's a reason travel was made more convenient and that you can carry more things long distances. These new story dungeons are very, very, very far away. So, we're at least going to be doing the archive pretty soon. Not too long after we update. Means I should probably get some bloomeries going to make more iron blooms so we can eventually fix that blackguard armor. Maybe go around to some merchants, see if we can't find the last piece of the armor that we need. I don't favor my chances in there without a good set of armor to keep myself durable. See, they're getting there. They're getting there. They're almost good to go. What can I do in the meantime? I'm just gonna put together that tin bronze pickaxe. We're gonna need that. Those will be soft in a matter of minutes. So, let's give those a little bit here. And let's go double check. Ooh. Let's just go double check what piece of that armor we're gonna need. And how much iron in total we're gonna need to fix the whole thing. You still there? Go home. Okay, so we've got ourselves the helmet and the chest. So we just need the legs. And coincidentally, the legs are sold by a treasure hunter trader. And that's just who we're gonna need to see to hand over that bronze pickaxe and get the story going. Hello. Get the story going. In the meantime, let's grab those brushes. We can be prepared to grab our ingots and make our Jonas Paintbrushes. And with the completion of the Jonas Paintbrushes, our main goal for today shall be complete. Oh my, where have I put them? Here they are. 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war. 5, 6, 7, 8. I use this hand to chisel. They're hardened. They're ready. That's weird they didn't stack. Oh, temperature. Okay. Oh boy. Jonas Paintbrush. Does that act as a light source? This is a glowing paintbrush. It's like I've got the power of the pixter in the palm of my hand. It's beautiful. Magical, even. Let's make as many of these as I can. So we have 3 more that we can make. Am I ever going to need 8 Jonas paintbrushes? Honestly, who knows? There's a lot of artistry in our future, and a lot of decoration, a lot of interior decor, especially once the castle interiors get started. So, you know, never say never. Expect the unexpected. So let's get the next batch of this going so I can finish off these brushes, and then we'll have one less obstacle on our way before updating to 1.20. And we can have an elk to ride, make a big boat. Oh, we're probably going to need a lot more flax to make that big boat, so that's going to be a fight between the windmill sails and the boat sails. Either way, we'll be sailing. Oh, wonderful. That actually reminds me, there is a bit of an update for the boiler room that we're going to have to do to prep ourselves for some of the new nightmare fuel that's also going to be coming our way with 1.20. I'll never sleep again, knowing these creatures are out there. Crawling, skittering, skulking even. Not that kind of skulk, wrong game. But in any case, that'll be an easy enough change. I thought I was going to have to design a whole new system, and I actually did. Kind of design a whole new variant of the boiler room. But it turns out, apart from the difficulty of luring in a particular ranged mob, honestly just adding some carving slots up top did the trick. We'll work on that a little bit here. Actually, you know what? While we're waiting for this to cook, let's prep some of the stuff we might need for that. Might as well get everything all ready to go. We have a couple minutes. Okay. I probably don't want to go too far. Do I have my bricks? I got my Fireclay bricks. How many bloomeries can I make? I can make 3. I'm just going to pop them on this wall for a moment. And then once this is done cooking and I've poured them into the molds, we're going to go grab ourselves a little bit of quartz. Clear quartz, specifically. Gotta keep with the same fogged up glass theme that we got going with the existing boiler room carving windows. Can you imagine if I accidentally misclicked and poured this into the wrong type of mold? You know how upsetting that would be? Be quite upsetting. But anyway, now that that's there, let's go grab a little bit of quartz. Let's also put the tongs down. Okay. We've already got 4 clear quartz glass, so that's good. We're gonna need 16 in total, so we're gonna need 7 blocks to cut that into 14, 15, 16. That should be all we need. All right, let's pop all of those in there. We'll keep these 3 on us because we're going to be crafting with them pretty well right after the storm. One last sprint back before we get ready for the storm and hunker down, because I need to grab my lantern or it's going to be exceedingly dark while the danger comes. How are you guys doing? 500 degrees, you'll be cool after the storm. You done? You're done. I'll just leave you open. To the shelter! We're going for safety in the boiler room. Still haven't put my 4th trunk in here. Though to be fair, we're still good on storage. Let the chaos commence! Oh. Aha! There's a doubleheader. Your arrival was foretold by the prophecy. Yes, the prophecy. Wow. That's, doubleheader and no temporal gear, no Jonas part, just a couple rusty gears and a flax. What's going on with the loot tables today? I mean, I appreciate the flax, but you boys miss payday? I was here to rob you of your lunch money and your life, but mostly the money. That's more like it. Ah, finely balanced oscillator. I'll be saving that for oscillator. Okay, now with that pesky temporal storm out of the way, let's update this boy. It's going to be very easy to do, so let's just grab our quartz slabs, our panograph, probably a chisel, we're going to want that, as well as our hammer, which very likely we're going to want in our offhand. And so these two, good, I can reach both of those layers from up top. Beautiful. Let's just, boop, unstable. There we go. Don't have to worry about stability when we're using the QP-Tech chisel tools. It bypasses that stability check. Pesky little stability check. There we go. And those are all chiseled. So now we're just going to add in our quartz slab, and I hope. Let's do this very safely. We'll do it with one, because I don't know if the instability is going to cause this to just fall right out. Oh, good, it goes in. Okay, we're good. We're safe. Ooh. That was almost unsafe. Let's get the quartz added in on all these, and it's going to be a very quick and easy, honestly, copy-paste from the carving slots down below to up here. That's because the larger hitbox on the new Bowtorns and Shivers, spoilers if you've been trying to avoid spoilers, for 1.20, they are a little larger, similar in hitbox size to like a bear or a moose. So if anybody remembers that one time way before where a moose fell down into here and I was helpless to do anything about harvesting it, we're not going to have those situations anymore. We're going to be able to actually harvest pretty well anything that falls in here. I've even had a couple times during my testing of this little update where a bear that I plopped in there for science, of course, actually fell down into the regular catchment chamber at the bottom. So, I mean, sometimes the hitbox might just be twisted just perfectly right so we can still go down below to carve them. Now, the one vulnerability that this might open up, it's not even a guarantee, is that potentially, because there is that open slot, if something is bobbing just the wrong way in the water, they might get a brief moment where they can see us through the carving slot. And they can try and take a little nibble out of our nose. Suckle the flesh meat. Nope, don't say that. I'm sure we'll be fine, though. If it becomes a problem, I mean, we'll find out in the next Temporal Storm. Or sooner. My neck should not twist that far. Weird. So, we're just gonna come on down here, and we're gonna start with paste shape. So we're not gonna have to worry too much. Let's actually double check. Oh. Uh-oh. They started with quartz. Okay. Well, I did not account for that, nor remember that I had started those with quartz slabs, so this is going to be tricky. Okay. Let's see how it looks. I don't think it's going to be I don't think it's going to be a good look, but hey, you know, we'll find out. I mean, it might work. I don't think it's going to look a bit odd, perhaps, but maybe it could look cool. See what it looks like on the entire thing. Okay, you know what? I don't hate it. It's a little different. It's kind of neat. Let's see what it looks like on the inside here. That's actually kind of cool. We can still use it functionally. It might be a little dangerous because we might have to get on this ledge, which puts us in prime. Well, it's also a little difficult and tricky to get onto a ledge, but whoop, see that. If we're crouching to carve, we might just fall right down the ladder, so adding another trapdoor here might not be a terrible idea. Let's make ourselves a little trapdoor, see if we have a spare one. Trapdoor. Da, 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 da. And so I don't want to give too much away, but there is a nice update with trapdoors for the new version where they are actually different depending on which kind of wood they are made out of. But I'm okay with just having generic ones for here because, well, that's okay. Let's grab that other trapdoor. I want to try something here. We're doing live beta testing right here, right now. I'm just basically sorting this out properly for the first time. The testing was very rudimentary, so we'll see how well this works. So that still lets us come down into this room to carve. And then we can still go down here, and can we climb all the way back up? Not really, but if we close that... Okay, it's gonna be tricky. So we've basically made carving slots out of these blocks here that are right above, well, basically in line with where our water source blocks are. So that way anything large that isn't funneling down below and getting stuck up here, which the shivers are, well, they won't be shivering for long, they'll be sweating, but they'll be right there on that little shelf. Now the easiest solution would of course be remove that shelf, have the water on the outer edges pouring inward, and I mean that would be all well and good, but that design would require having quite a large body of hot water. And that's not something I can necessarily guarantee, and the reason we'd want the water on the outside is so when it flows down, it'll flow down inward towards our carving slots. Whereas if I just break those temporary blocks there, well, those are also on top of our fences. But also, the water may then want to flow outward, pushing things outside of our carving radius. We won't be able to reach them with our knives. That's not good, not conducive to the whole point of this thing. But in any case, we've added the carving slots there, and then for the moment, I have replaced the ladders in here with 2 trapdoors. We're still able to go down at least. But if we were to... Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute, that works perfectly. Oh, I don't need any of this. This is, like I said, live beta testing. No, if we just go down and boop, we have good eye line out of, well, everything except for that direction. Yeah, we could still reach just the same, and if we really had to, we could just kind of crawl up and just be very careful. Very quiet hunting rabbit. But yeah, as long as the trapdoor's closed, we're just right there. Sure, we're constantly going down, but we can still carve with our knife, and that should work out just fine. And then we open the trapdoor to come down here. Ah, an elegant design that involved changing quite literally nothing after adding the carving slots. I overthought it. And I've got a couple extra trapdoors, so I guess I'll just... Yeah. So with the boiler room all sorted out for the update, let's finish off these paintbrushes. I'm sure the ingots are cool by now. Oh, absolutely they are. And I've still got my paintbrushes. Doop, doop, doop. That leaves us with 4 copper nickel ingots left, which we're just gonna... There we go, and those will come in handy again later on, when we eventually start working on a few more Jonas devices, but that's far off. that's not even really on the priority list. Those are kind of nice to haves when there ain't much else left. Unless something really cool comes about. I think there might be. Wonder if there's new devices. I haven't really looked into that. Guess we'll find out pretty soon, huh? So let's take a tally here of everything. So we've got our tin bronze pickaxe that we're going to need to start some of the story stuff. We've made our ingots. We've got a bit more coke, so we could make more ingots. We're not going to need to right now. Our molds are inside, so they're not going to explode in the rain. So there's that. We cleared out the little dirt hut. There are more Fireclay bricks to fire over there, but those can probably wait a little bit. Since the pottery kiln does require refractory bricks, we don't have that many of them. So we're gonna need more Fireclay. Luckily, any deposits that we've already discovered in loaded chunks, those are gonna stay. That's not going anywhere. New loaded chunks after we update, though, those will no longer have Fireclay deposits except for under, I believe, black coal and anthracite deposits, maybe brown coal. I think maybe just black coal and anthracite. We'll be able to find those deeper underground. But of course, there's going to be different clay types. We're going to have the blue clay as we normally do, but also red clay that we can find in that ceramics furnace. The kiln, if you will. Depending on how we cook it and which doors are open on it, we'll get different colors. So we can get a whole bunch of different things. We don't need to pay for brown bricks. We can make our own now. Well, soon enough anyway. Next episode, if all goes well. But with that clay, we can also cook up a little bit of flint, mix that together, and actually make our own fire clay from pretty well any type of clay. So all that blue clay that we've got, I mean, honestly, that's probably all going to get used up for cobblestone for the castle. But any that doesn't can be used for Fireclay. And we might still find surface deposits around. So I think in the interest of not going on a wild goose chase for more Fireclay deposits that I may or may not have marked, and also may or may not have actually dug out, I don't think I'm going to worry about that too much. We're going to be wanting to adventure out anyway into some of the new generated chunks, so I think I'll just wait for the update to go hunt for more Fireclay. And whether that involves finding it out in the wild or just any clay and making our own, trying out some new mechanics later, we'll find out. It'll be an adventure. But the main focus of getting these paintbrushes all sorted away so that we can do less expensive, colorful light blocks, that's all set. That's all done and dusted. I'm happy. Now, there's one last thing that has to be taken care of, because it will quite literally bite us in the behind once we update. I think we all knew this day was gonna come. It's a sad day. It's not a day I was looking forward to. But I knew it was a day that was gonna have to come. We're gonna have to deal with Dog the Moose. There he is, phasing through the door, as he is wont to do. Hey, buddy. You wanna go for a walk? Come on. Let's go for a walk. Yeah, you want walkies? You thought you were going to be free. You're going to live in the barn, the stables here, yes. And there's nothing you can do to stop me. Even when you go full hostile, I'll still love you, buddy. Yeah. You play in your strewn straw. Don't look at me like that. Good night, sweet prince. Shout out to Season 2 of The Walking Dead. Living that Herschel life, keeping dangerous stuff in the barn. Don't you dare say spoilers. Season 2 came out like over 10 years ago. You had your chance. Okay. Well, the sun's going down. It's just you and me, Cat the Rabbit. Okay. Unless there's anything I've forgotten, and if I have forgotten anything, I'll be interrupting myself in 3, 2, 1. I guess we remembered everything that we wanted to get done. So, in that case, I'll see you all next episode when we enter in and venture forth into Vintage Story 1.20. We'll have access to boats, rideable elk, eventually. And we're going to start doing some of the story aspects. Maybe not immediately, but pretty soon. Some of those long treks might get a little dicey in the dead of winter, so when the weather's kind of moderate and we don't have anything we're waiting on growing or anything like that, we might make a little jaunt out. At the very least, we're going to go over to that survival goods trader, give him that tin bronze pickaxe, and see what sort of interesting treasures he has. I've heard tell he has a map to a place with great fortunes buried away, secrets of the past left to unlock. And by Jonas, we're gonna find out those secrets. Maybe even commit some crimes along the way. So with that being said, thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And a special shout out to all of our channel members. You're all the greatest. Thank you so much for your support. You mean the world to me. And as always, I will see all of you next episode. We're gonna have some fun times, some good old adventures, some classic shenanigans even. I'll see you there. Bye-bye. Where are you going? Are you trying to show me something? What are you trying to show me? Yes, very nice flowers, yes. No, don't pee in them. Don't pee in the flower. You'll kill the flowers. It's laughing. You're peeing in the flowers and you're laughing. They'll never be the same.